was walking through the city center when I saw the old video game store with the sign sale. I had spent so many hours there as a child that memories came over me, and I decided to go in and have a look out of pure curiosity. I walked around the shelves and a title caught my attention. It was a second-hand version of Pokémon Silver, my favorite. Suddenly, nostalgia came over me. My mother had got rid of my old games a long time ago, but I still kept my old Game Boy Color. I didn't hesitate for a second. I bought it and ran home to try it. When I arrived, I changed the batteries on the console and put the cartridge in. The familiar Game Freak logo appeared on the screen. That brought back so many memories. The unmistakable start menu soon emerged. I was surprised to see that the game had the data from a previous game. Probably the old owner hadn't reset it. Out of curiosity, I clicked on it. The first thing that caught my attention was that my character, Gold, didn't have a name, and instead only a few quotation marks appeared. But I found his profile even weirder. 999 hours and 99 minutes played, 16 medals, 999,999 Pokemon dollars, and 251 Pokemon in the Pokédex. I checked my equipment, which was complete. I had a Pokemon with the nickname Harry, and a level 5 Cyndaquil with only one hit point. It had 2 attacks, Screech and Flash. But even stranger was that I found I had 5 unknowns, also level 5. By checking their symbols, I could read the word leave. I closed the menu, still puzzled by all that, and saw that the game had been left at the Bellsprout Tower. But unlike the original game, the central pillar didn't move. I started walking around it until I saw some stairs behind it. And when I walked them, the screen went black. I tried to move around the map, but soon realized that I would need light to continue. At that moment, I remembered that my Cyndaquil had Flash. I used it, but instead, the screen turned completely red. That was getting weirder. The only direction I could take was to the south, and I noticed that the farther I went, the darker the screen got, until I reached the end. Straining my eyes a little, I distinguished a sign. I went over to read it. Turn back now. A dialogue window suddenly popped up, giving me a choice between yes and no, but there was no question. I selected yes, and when doing so, the game notified me that my Cyndaquil had passed out without further explanation. The Game Freak logo reappeared, and the usual music from the game returned. I realized that I could open the menu, and I checked my equipment. I no longer had Cyndaquil, but instead there was a new unknown, 6 in total, whose symbols now said, he died. I was in Goldenrod City. No doubt, that version was a hack. I didn't understand how they could sell a faulty game. I reopened my trainer's profile. It showed 24 medals, something clearly impossible. I checked my gear again. 5 unknowns and a level 100 Celebi without a nickname. The unknowns were now level 15 and spelled the word dying. Immediately after closing the menu, the flight animation appeared, and I found myself again at the Bellsprout Tower. With the central pillar as still as before and the light red again, my avatar now had red eyes, as if they were bleeding. Again, there was only one way to go, and for the first time I saw another player on the map. It was Red. I advanced to him, and the game quickly went into battle mode. The text simply said, wants to fight, without a name. Me and my opponent, we only had one Pokemon, even though I knew my team was complete. My Celebi came out, with a sprite showing only half the body. Red sent an apparently normal Pikachu, except that he was level 255, and his expression was really sad. The battle started, although I couldn't select any attack. It was as if the game did it for me. Red's Pikachu was far superior in level, so my Celebi soon weakened. The text announced Celebi is dead, and instead of the normal animation, I saw his avatar fade away. The same thing happened soon after with the opponent, who also vanished. The music stopped and the screen went black again. I appeared in my room in Newbark Town. My trainer profile said now that I had 40 medals. As for my team, it was all level 20 unknowns, which spelled the word no more. As I moved around the room, I noticed that my avatar was transparent and it was floating like a ghost. I went down to the ground floor, and after not seeing anything, I went out the door. There was no transition. Instead, my sprite turned white and continued on a gray map. It no longer made the slightest sense. I went down the map for a long time, since it was the only possible direction. The screen changed color again, and suddenly the game teleported me again like I was using an escape rope. I appeared in the Lavender Town Tower, surrounded by tombs. But now I didn't even have an avatar. I was able to move the map, but without any references. I checked my Pokémon. I still had 6 unknowns, now level 25. I read the phrase they formed, "I'm dead." Shortly after, a text popped up on the screen, which said, "RIP Pokémon Trainer Gold." Now I understood everything. Trainer Gold was dead. In the game, he was a young trainer who, despite his attempts to be a Pokémon master, had been unable to avoid his fate. All his efforts were forgotten by the next generation. I couldn't escape that text, no matter what buttons I pressed. I tried to reset the game, but to no avail. I gave up and put the console back in the closet. After that surreal experience, I would never see the unknowns the same way again, nor the old Pokémon games. For some strange reason, I had the feeling that what had happened to Trainer Gold was a life lesson that could happen to anyone, even me.